A guaranteed way to get me to play your deck list is to donate for a donation deck list. But there is another way. If you top 8 a vintage challenge with a really cool looking deck, I might just try it. So here we have vintage top 8 list for Oswald Fiddlebender Prison Workshops. All right. I'm going to try to play a vintage league today. I have a sweet Oswald Fiddlebender workshop deck for you. Chess Knight recently top 8'd with a similar list. I've made some slight adjustments to the list. Swapped out a Plains for a Caracas. Took out like Sensei's Top plus Citadel. There's like a Citadel and a Coveted Jewel and some more, and like an Aetherflux Reservoir. So some more combo oriented cards that I decided I think we would be better off playing more prison pieces. So instead, we're going to play a God Pharaoh statue and a Wormcoil Engine. I definitely like Wormcoil Engine in this list because it's really going to be dedicated on this one ring drawing us cards, and Wormcoil is a way we can kind of offset that life gain. I'm also going to make sure we include a Mightstone, Weakstone, very, very strong tutorable target. So this is a pretty reasonable looking prison workshop shell. You have a lot of the same things you would see in a prison deck with the spheres and thorns and trinispheres, Crucible of Worlds. But we're going to play, like, the Golos toolbox, including Tabernacle and Caracas and Strip Mine and Bog and Saga. So a lot of the typical tools you might see in a Golos workshop deck. However, we're going to play this it's just a sweet card. We've played it on stream pretty frequently, actually, over the past few years, just because I think it's a really powerful interaction. Oswald lets you tap a white and sack an artifact, and then search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to exactly 1 plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value, and put that onto the battlefield only as a sorcery, kind of like, a little bit of like a birthing pod type effect. So we have a nice chain here. We can start from 0 and work all the way up to 6, just switching our artifacts into stronger ones as we go. Should be an exciting league. Hopefully we'll get to do some really cool fiddle bending action. And we'll maybe get to do some powerful ring shenanigans with Paradox Engine as well. So, lots to look forward to. Let's see if we can fire a vintage league. Are you interested in weekly vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my vintage content? Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. Okay, here we go. Round 1. We got Oswald. We've got workshops. Do we have... Yeah, that's a powerful hand. Not the best follow-up in Masticore, but depends on what our opponent plays, of course. I'm looking at 3, 5, 6, 7. So I could technically play... I think the answer here is just... play Sphere off. I was gonna play it like in a sequence that was slightly more favorable, but then I was like, why would we run into mind break traps? So let's just get it down first so I don't get like mental misstep or whatever. There's a possibility that I'm supposed to hold some kind of Moxen in my hand for this Masticore, but I definitely want to have Opal in play for a Fiddlebender. That's just got to be like the best possible draw in my whole deck. It's going to make this Masticore go forever as well. This is just a nuts draw. They have to have a force, I think. If they don't have a force, this is just going to run over whatever deck they're playing, I would hope. Really, really strong draw. Yeah, they're off it. So we would draw Karn this turn, which we wouldn't be able to play, and then next turn we're drawing those 3. No lands, actually. And the sphere is going to prohibit us from doing too many things per turn, but I'm sure that runs away with it. Don't exactly know what our opponent's playing if they played Bloodstained Mire Go. But I'm thinking I'll just run it back because I don't know what they're playing. Could be like a Reanimator thing. Could be like a Scam deck, maybe. Not really sure. I guess a turn 1 sphere would really hurt a scam deck. So that seems reasonable to me. But if they're on like null rods, I think it's good to keep in the portable hole for the null rod. Besides that, yeah, like, all the only things we really learned, they had Bloodstained Mire and the F6 when we started casting spells. Let's see what we have here for game 2. Our hand does not have a very large percentage of fast mana. I think this hand just needs to go back. It is a little awkward that our deck is pretty low on fast mana. I'm not like, it has a lot of artifact mana, but it doesn't have 4 Ancient Tombs, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we don't have like as many hands that that do it. So let's just put this back and try to find something a little bit faster. This hand is like much more reasonable, as we do have a piece of Moxen and we have the turn 1 Vault Key special kind of happening here, where we are presenting Time Vault. But I guess if we want that to occur, we would have to hide this key into our deck. It's kind of an interesting thought. I kind of want to do that anyways, though Trident Sphere, Lodestone are not, you know, the best cards with this kind of hand. Oh, oh. We got the rings, thankfully. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this and hide the key. The key's not gonna really do anything on its own anyways. Obviously, they could have a Wastelands for our Saga, but especially if they are scam and they grief my Time Vault, I don't really want to have a key in my opening hand anyways, so they are scam. I thought they might be. Thought they might be. So here they probably, I mean, if they don't have a really good answer for Time Vault, they probably just take Time Vault. If they have like a null rod, maybe they can go for something else. I definitely like the putting back key. If they hit the Time Vault, I don't think it's the end of the world for me either, so. Definitely my best draw is more fast mana. Well, they took the Mox Pearl. Interesting. Maybe I'm just gonna get the Mox Pearl and something else taken by Reanimate here. Looks like that might be the case. Pretty tough. This seems like a very play draw dependent matchup, where if I'm on the play and I have spheres, it's very hard for my opponent to get off the ground. But they had, you know, the scam package here with Grief into Reanimate, so they get to take best stuff from me. Probably will have to lead Plains because we don't have the Moxen for Saga. If we draw a Moxen, then we can play Saga on turn 1 and work through that. If not, maybe we can draw like a Workshop. Workshop would be pretty good, obviously. So they took the Time Vault anyways. Leave us with a 3 and a 4 drop with no fast mana. Did draw the Moxen. So yeah, definitely going to play this out. Opponent can definitely have Wasteland or Null Rod here. Both of those will be bad for me, but I have to make the play. Then will come a question of, do we make a construct or do we play a Trident Sphere if we make it that far? All right, well, we're not going to get to play Trident Sphere, clearly. But constructs look quite good here. We have plenty of time to make them. Together, they can block this grief. Opponent only has 2 cards left in hand. Yep. As long as we don't get wastelanded, basically. Another Mox. I think I'm just going to... I think I am going to play this load. No, playing this Lodestone is bad. I just want to make sure this is in play. And we get our full value off this Saga. This is like one of the problems with the Scam deck is the Scam deck does have answers to Saga, but it does need to have them in a timely manner. And if they don't have like the Wasteland or the Collector Roof or the Magus of the Moon, depending on what build you have, huge problems occur. This is kind of a nice draw because it just lets us go get a Soul Ring. And just play a Lodestone, and they're just so far behind, and they don't really have the tools to beat this many, large creatures, so it's just going to be pretty much over for them. So even though they were able to scam me on turn 1, they weren't able to answer Urza's Saga, and we did, to be fair, we did rip a Moxen to make that work, but lots of stuff like that can happen. Okay, another one. What do we have? We've got turn 1 Fiddlebender into turn 2 Golos. Seems quite good. If we can hit more fast mana, we can even do some silly stuff. I mean, we don't need to, yeah, I guess we do need to. If we hit more fast mana, we can do some silly stuff like play Golos and turn it into a statue. Original list had like a Jewel or a Citadel to turn into, but those don't really synergize very well with like the Prison Shop's game plan of sphere resistances and things like that. So I opted for more prison elements. Definitely like a turn 1 Fiddlebender here. We could always turn our Mox into a 1-drop as well. We have Cage, Hole, Key, Vault, and Soul Ring. Oh, we got a Workshop Mirror. Opponent has a 1,000,000 mana. It's a 9 mana starting hand. It's a 10 mana starting hand. At least we presented a creature, so if they go for a Coveted Jewel, we can attack it if they miss, but it looks like they're just going to play PO for 4 and kill us. Nice. They had what was their blue source? Mox Sapphire and Black Lotus? Yeah, I mean, there's not very many blue sources in my opponent's deck. It's like Sapphire, 3 Opals, Lotus Petal, Black Lotus, an Island, like 7 blue sources. So having a turn 1 PO is quite rare, but they had it. Not much we can do about it besides keeping a hand that had a. I mean, even if we had a sphere, is the sphere really good enough? Combo Shops Jewel has pretty much fallen completely out of favor in the vintage metagame. You almost never really see it anymore. Maybe 1 or 2 players per challenge. But it obviously is a deck that has the power requisite to be a vintage playable deck, and for a while it was the second most played deck in the format. It's just also a deck that's very easily hated out. So this is like it's gonna be a Mightstone kill our Fiddlebender so that they can pave their way for a Jewel. They still have 7 cards in hand, so it's gonna be very hard for us to do very much here. Even if we were to have like a sphere, it's not like it's gonna stop them at this point. They just have infinite mana. I'm not even sure like how I'm supposed to progress this game. Probably need to find a combo, so maybe I'll just try to hit a Saga here and go for a Vault Key or something. But it's super doomed, super doomed. It's really hard to come back from opponent going draw 4, make mana on their turn 1. Not even sure we have the requisite cards to make this matchup good. You really need like Null Rods and you need Mindbreak Traps. So it's gonna be like an extremely challenging matchup. Like we don't have Mindbreak Traps, we don't have Null Rods. This deck should actually probably be playing at least a single Null Rod that you can tutor for with Fiddlebender as well. Not that that would really have helped us in this situation. I'm just gonna concede and we can just go to the next game. Don't really feel like this is worth playing out. But yeah, like we don't even have Mindbreak Traps, so it's like just Needle and Chalice get to come in on the play for sure. Take out this Worm Coil Engine. Typically you don't even really want spheres against them because it's so weak. Yeah, I'm not really sure what we're gonna really be able to do about this. Feels like this might be a matchup where we just get run over and there might not be too much counterplay. We do have like a turn 1 like Karn that could happen. This hand has Strip Mine, Key, Opal. Look, oh god, I could have boarded out this Tabernacle, huh? That would have been slightly better than whatever I chose to board out. I mean, not that the card I boarded out were good. Worm Coil's not very good, and Cage is not very good either, but they both have to be better than Tabernacle. So this hand is looking for me to draw a land, or if I draw a Mox, it would be winning. I think I'm just gonna look for something better. This hand, I can Needle Saga, or I can Needle Volkey. This hand lets me go Strip, Soul Ring, Lotus, Opal, Golos, Needle, or just Needle Sphere. Don't really feel like the Sphere is the play. I feel like it's just get a Golos in play. The problem is like this Needle is so bad. Maybe the play is actually just get the Golos in play and keep the Sphere for the next turn. Because I have a Strip Mine answer for a Saga, so it's not like I need a Needle Saga. I don't think I want to turn off Volt Key unless I have to, because it's still something that I want to do. But yeah, we're missing what, 1 mana to play Golos and Sphere, and we definitely, I guess we definitely could just play Sphere on turn 1, but I don't really know if that's what we'd want to do. Like we can play Soul Ring, Lotus, Opal, Sphere, but I just don't think that's good against my opponent's deck typically. But maybe that's worthwhile. We go to next turn and we need to pay 6. We can still pay 6 and Strip Mine. Maybe that's actually good enough. Maybe it's better to be restrictive of what my opponent's trying to do, at least a little bit, even if it's not the end all be all. Might buy us an extra turn anyways. Oh, they had a Force, so yeah, I mean, also Force of Will, not a common card for our opponent to have. There's only, 16 blue cards in my opponent's deck, so it ends up being like pretty hard to have Force and a blue card. They had 2 Forces, so probably expect the rest of our spells to resolve this game. Opponent has an Academy and a Lotus. What do we have? Fiddlebender, 5/7. It's not too bad here. Let's get a Fiddlebender in play. Get a Golos in play. Not gonna waste land because I think I just need to use my full mana here. And then I think this will just get a Saga. Because it could get an Academy. I don't think that does anything for us though. Just get a Saga. All right, well, we didn't restrict our opponent at all here, but we did put together some threats, and we can always turn this Golos into a statue next turn, which will really probably be a pretty strong play. If we make it to the next turn with a statue where we statue and strip mine our opponent with an active Saga, I feel pretty happy about the board state. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna hit this. I'm gonna attack first. And I will turn this Golos into a statue. And just pass and make 2 Saga tokens. All right, they're off it. Nice. Okay, that's sweet. There's just so many bad cards in this matchup. Maybe I just like end up keeping this Worm Coil because it's way worse than some of these other cards, but the other cards are real bad too. Not much I can do about it. These are the cards I chose to register in my deck. I do think a Null Rod would have been really nice. You can just like turn the Soul Ring into a Null Rod, really just lock up the entire game. This hand has Saga Sphere into, I mean, like Lodestone's terrible against their deck as well. Am I passing up turn 1 Sphere, really? Probably not. Like, the best play I can do is, like, turn 1 Karn, right? That's the single best play I can make. I guess we can just go for more, considering how bad the matchup is. Yeah, none of these cards do anything. Like, considering we might not even get to play the game, our opponent could just kill us on turn 1. Man, these hands have been pretty bad, huh? Don't think Eternasphere is really going to get the job done, but At least it's something. Love to draw like a Moxen so I can play Saga on turn 1 here, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. But the second Saga does mean we can at least make constructs with the first Saga. I'm just worried, like, they just play a 6-mana Jewel here, and it's really bad for me. Don't think that's, like, a good enough reason to, like, keep Sphere over Trinisphere. Like, trying to keep Sphere Resistance. But yeah, I mean, they just have Workshop, Grim Monolith, make a Jewel. There's just, like, no real, like, all their things at this point cost 3 and 4 mana anyways. It does, like, prevent them from, like, picking everything up with a PO and putting it all back down, but... Like, every Metamorph here is still fine. Every Tinker is fine. But there's, like, nothing I could have really done besides mulligan to a stronger hand. Like, if this Trinisphere is somehow, if I have, like, Ancient Tomb, Mana Crypt, Karn, that's, like, the way forward. Oh, Argenta Masticore. Yeah, I mean... At least it doesn't hit Saga, I guess. Don't think I'm gonna be able to punch through that thing. Maybe they'll just end up hitting my Ruby, actually. It's kind of nuts that I can just hit the Ruby. Yeah, jeez. Oh, they pitched Seagate and killed the Trinisphere. Okay, I mean... Also seems good, though that looks castable right now, so maybe I would have kept it and cast it. Probably would have. Yeah, I would have just cast it instead. Academy. Definitely want another Saga. This is a 5/5. Yep, Opal, target that, make a Saga. So what this does is it does prevent this Saga from being made again. I think what I might try to do is pick up a Manifold Key and make this unblockable. If I can do, if my opponent bricks here, wow, they're gonna brick here. So I really dislike their play of Seagate Wreckage. I would have just cast the Seagate Wreckage, I think. So here, what I can do is tap a mana and then go get a key. Oh, I could even needle there. Wait. Oh, that's actually just better, right? Well. If I go key, I make 2 mana. I can't actually make a... I can't actually make a construct and block this on the way back. Unless I hit a bunch of mana sources. So that's like a reason not to get a needle. Oh, I guess they're going to make a Saga token anyways. I might just needle Saga, so all I have to beat is... Oh, I guess I can't needle Saga because they'll just Argenta Masticore it if they have a card in their hand that costs more than 0. Maybe I should do that anyways, though. It costs way less mana than... If I needle Saga, then I can't activate Saga. Having a key in play is more likely to win. Like, I kind of need the Stolen Jewel to give me some really good stuff, though. I think I might needle Saga. Because they didn't activate in response, which they definitely should have done. I'm going to lose a floating mana this way, but I think holding my land drop is better anyways. So my opponent shouldn't be able to stop this construct from stealing Coveted Jewel. But I need to find a way to protect myself from Masticore, which I was not able to do. Maybe this was a bad play? I need to make sure I leave myself with the ability to activate Saga if they kill my Saga. I say if they kill my Needle, I guess they just aren't going to do that. So like if I don't strip mine this, I should still strip mine this, unfortunately. Man, this was a really unfortunate set of coveted jewel draws. What I needed to do was draw creatures or something like that so that I could stop this Masticore from stealing the jewel back. Because now they're just going to get the jewel back. Yeah, they're going to kill my construct token. Oh, now I'm not even going to be able to get my jewel back. But if I had given them construct tokens, it would be worse for me, right? Pretty sure construct token, like getting construct tokens is worse for me than like me going for a jewel unblockable, or sorry, me going for an like an unblockable manifold key. Then they get a construct token and then a second, maybe a second construct token. So all I have is they drew 3, have infinite mana through a sphere. So yeah, I don't think the game should have came to this because I don't think my opponent should have. Jeez. I don't think my opponent should have ever pitched this Seagate wreckage, but oh, I'm just gonna get lattice locked. I needed my jewel draw 3 to just be so much better than it was. I think if I had drawn some creatures, maybe there was a chance. Rough. All right, we found a battler. Let's go. We have a bunch of our 1 mana card lands in our hand. Doesn't really produce anything quick, fast, or powerful. Kind of just want to find something better. This one also doesn't have those, but probably just gonna keep it. Let's see what kind of brew Gidra's on today. I think they top 8'd a challenge with the Not Me Hate Bears pile with Scam. I have to see if that holds true here. I really hate my hand, but I don't think going to 5 was worth. We just like don't have. Just wish we had this kind of hand. Maybe I'm supposed to go to 5. It's gonna be a 3 ball. Guess we could just. No, they're just gonna untap. Let's say if it's a 3 ball, we could just concede. I feel like this needs to become a Moxen for me to have a chance in this game. So maybe I do have to just go to 5. What is this? Yeah, okay. So it's some kind of scam saga deck. Interesting. If we can make it into some mana, the ring should be very good against what my opponent's doing here. Would I rather play another saga? Yeah, I think getting these things ticking is actually going to be really good. Even if we're not going to be able to make as many saga tokens, hopefully the ring will buy us time. We're just trying to get like as much mana as we possibly can. Ah, I see. Well, that's unfortunately a really good card against the ring. I don't know if we're going to have enough time in this game. We just did not draw the fast mana we needed to play Magic. I guess there's a world. Even a Tabernacle is not going to clear up this board in a reasonable way, huh? Like if we get a Soul Ring and then Academy and then play Golos, but it's just not going to be enough. Because this mana crypt represents 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana, even if they were to use things to make mana here. So it's going to have to be something more like the ring to give us immunity. into a combo, maybe. I feel like that's the only real viable path forward here. So this first one will make mana, and we're gonna go get a soul ring. And then this costs the same. And this is gonna cost one more because we have a thorn in play. So let's get a ring going. I'm just gonna draw. Found a key. Yeah, we're just gonna try to vault key our way out of this game. Try to luck sack a key and hope it's good enough. We will have some draws, so maybe it's possible. One thing the ring is really good for is bricking a whole wall of creatures for a whole turn like this. And I actually can't get like Thoughtseize or anything here either. Oh, Helm of Obedience, interesting. So maybe something similar to the Legacy list that's been doing really well. All right, we're just trying to find a time vault. I don't know if there's like any compelling reason. All right, so we just need to watch our life total. And we should just win this game. It's pretty nice. Can't imagine there's a way we lose this game, right? Oh, and it's probably not on any counter magic. Let's just get a Sapphire. I think this is just winning. I guess we have to win in like 11 turns with our ring in play, but the one ring, quite good against creatures, huh? So what is our path forward in this game? We have 11 turns. We can't really activate the ring too many times because of Bowmaster. That'll probably decrease the clock, or actually increase the clock by too much. What we can do is we can Golos for another Saga. Just try to get enough creatures in play. Oh, we could always Mightstone the Bowmaster. That might help a little bit. They're gonna have another creature in play after this as well. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be another Saga. We could also loop Golos with Caracas. I think we'll have enough. Opponent's going to just activate this Helm for fun. See what that does, I guess. They got an Oswald. That's funny. All right. So opponent just wanted to F6 probably. So yeah, we are on a clock. And the Oswald would have gotten rid of the ring, which would have locked the game up. So definitely wasn't nothing. I don't think we're going to attack until we have a larger thing happening here. Just, it makes it simpler for me. Don't have to worry about like crazy double blocks or anything. I think we'll just kill off this Bowmaster. Just in case I want to use the ring. Yeah, I think we're going to get there. Okay, so my opponent is on some kind of mono black, maybe Helm combo, maybe Scam, maybe both. Don't know if that is a good enough reason to use a ley line or dismember, really. I typically like to have a needle in a saga mirror, but might not even need that. But the tabernacle shouldn't really be very good here. Let's just go with needle for tabernacle, a little bit of choice. So if I get my mocks stolen from me, it's kind of bad. Like if I get griefed here. I think it might be a strong enough hand to keep anyways, though. Ooh, my MTG bot has come back up. Let's go. So it thinks I'm 0-0 in this vintage league. Let me just hide that for now, and we'll just keep going with this one. I think I'm gonna keep this. I think on the I think it has a high upside. Here's a ley line. So the needle will also help with the ley line combo. Ley line plus helm is infinite mill. Demonic. So that's probably just gonna get a helm. So we need to somehow find our needle or prevent them from casting helm. Oh, if I just got a Lotus, do they have like Tinker? Oh, they have 3 ball. Oh, well, that would be bad for me if I wasn't a workshop deck. Got him. I'm just going to try to produce mana for a couple turns to the point where I can... I think this Lodestone Golem is the first thing I want to really be doing. Though it doesn't stop the... I need to stop them from playing a... Helm. So I think I'm going to get a Sphere. Okay, Bowmaster, sure. Maybe shouldn't be worried about that. Saga is just an incredible draw here, though. All right. So, Saga of my own. Definitely go for Emerald, Saga, and then another spell. I can go for another Sphere or get the Opal. Get the Opal going, because that will let me use this portable hole on the next turn. So I am 1 turn behind on the Saga, but looks okay. And then we can finally get a needle off the Saga so we don't have to worry about Leyline. Or sorry, we don't have to worry about Helm. They can't cast Helm right now because I still have a Sphere. I think they have the Helm in their hand, it looks like. Maybe I do still need the Sphere again, though. Because the Slowstone is not affecting the Helm. I guess I could theoretically portable hole the Jet. We definitely need to make a Saga token, though. I guess portable holing the Jet does a similar thing to Sphere without hampering me as much. Oh, but now I don't have enough mana to make a thing, right? So that was really bad. Though I guess if they, yeah, because the Saga, I guess the Saga can get them a 2-mana thing anyways. They can't get a Lotus. I guess if they have a Mana Fold Key. Okay, I do think I'm going to portable hole the Jet. Maybe like I'm gonna lose on board to the Saga tokens, but I guess this also weakens the Saga tokens. But hopefully they like go for, you know, get a 2-mana source, and I guess getting a 2-mana source. So the last card is Vamp. So if they get a Helm costs 5. Okay, so I needed to play a Sphere for this to work, because now they can just get a Soul Ring and cast Helm and activate Helm. What we really needed here was to be on the play, right? Yeah, this just gets a Soul Ring, and I don't have enough things to stop this Helm from going down. I guess the portable hole did the same thing as a Sphere. Oh, they went for Karn. Doesn't Helm just win the game here? Pretty sure Helm is just winning here, but I guess this is fine. Unfortunately, my Lodestone costs 5 because of this Sphere. So I have to draw an actual land drop to play Lodestone. Yeah, I think my opponent should have just killed me with Helm if it's in their deck. Maybe it's not in their deck, but I would assume if they kept in Leyline, they kept in Helm. All right, we can just concede here. Well, I guess I can just Needle Karn. We're not winning, but this does stop Karn, and then I need to hit like another workshop to play a Lodestone, but don't want to play any more spheres at this point because if I do that, I can't play the Lodestone if I draw, like depending on which mana sources I draw, what they draw off the top. They drew a Dothy Voidwalker off the top. That's really bad for me because I can't block it. Yeah, that's a little bit of a better draw than ours was. Don't exactly know what I can really... What am I going for here? Caracas doesn't bounce any of their creatures. I'm going to take 5. This costs 5, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. The first thing I need to do is hit a mana source and play a Lodestone. That will at least reduce the clock by a turn. And then, all right, let's just get out of here. Okay, so Chalice on the play seems fine. I feel like Cage isn't even that good. Maybe we do need to play Dismember. Some number of Dismember. I guess we have a portable hole for that. Yeah, maybe not. Let's just get rid of Bog and play a Dismember. Seems fine. All right, on the play this time. Yeah, that's hand's nice. We have turn 1 ring. It's got to be really good against my opponent's deck. Unless they turn 1 like Leyline Helmus. Though we'll have protection, not really, because they'll just have it on my upkeep. But this will at least let us progress this game forward quickly. How much mana do I have? I have 6 mana, so I can't play 2 spells anyways. So might as well just go Workshop Ruby Ring. I guess theoretically I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mightstone. I could go Mightstone Crucible. Draw 2. If I draw any Moxen, I can play Ring anyways. Maybe it makes more sense to go Mightstone, draw 2. No, that's gotta be worse. It's gotta be worse than just playing the Ring and drawing 1. Mightstone, like I can hit a Dothy Voidwalker or something on the next turn. So, yeah, I think I'm sold on 1 ring. All right, here's a Leyline. 7 card keep. Workshop, Ruby, Ring. Definitely draw right now. See if I can hit a Moxen. Engine could just go infinite next turn. Very, very possible. Kind of exciting. See what happens. So, no reason not to draw to start. Didn't get anything really good, but this will stop me from getting combo killed. So if I use Mana Vault off of Workshop, I think I have enough mana where if I Mana Vault off of Workshop, I have 6 mana, I have 7 mana. I can go Engine and then Fiddlebender and then untap Mana Vault Ruby and go, cast a couple things. So let's go Engine. It's because I drew this Fiddlebender or the Sphere. I think I'll do the Fiddlebender first that I get to do this. And now I have 4 mana and I draw a million cards. So just like they might just concede to Karn, but that's okay too. I just can get a new ring at the end of this, so gotta be super infinite. Is there a lattice? Assume there's a lattice, right? Yeah. Nah, we're good here. GG, opponent. Got there. All right. So Paradox Engine, that's a hell of a magic card. Obviously, really strong with the One Ring. I'm super happy to have it in the deck as a one of that you can tutor for. That was really, really nice. Just a turn 1 ring into turn 2 engine. With the amount of Mox in your deck, you're just so highly likely to kill. The Manifold did some serious work. Big win. All right, league's going pretty well so far. Next up, we got Zol, Trophy Leader, probably on Countervine. It's a good hand against Countervine. Very good hand against Countervine. Got a Bajuka Bog, turn 1 3 ball. Golos gets Tabernacle. This hand, 1 ring blocks everything. Yeah, it's quite a hand. Gonna be pretty happy against Countervine keeping this. Do need to hit some more mana sources, but we have play. Simply going like turn 1 3 ball, even if it's counter, and going on the next turn, grabbing like, oh god, if we draw like a box, then going bog plus ring, something like that. Would be really strong. All right, workshop 3 ball. How do you respond? You have to have a force right now. No force. All right, so let's see what they do from here. It's gonna be hard for them to play spells. Best you can do is concede. Yeah, that's about how I feel when a 3 ball happens. Actually, I'm not even sure Countervine can do anything, right? Because you can't bring back vines, because you can't cast anything. I don't know. Yeah, that might just be lethal. All right, we're going to assume based on that reaction they are, in fact, on Countervine, and they usually are. And we're going to bring in Ley Lines, and we're going to bring in City in a Bottle. That's a classic. Whenever one or more non-token permanents with a name originally printed in the Arabian Nights expansion are on the battlefield, their controllers sacrifice them. Players can't cast spells or play lands that the name originally imprinted in the Arabian Nights expansion. It's also known as Get Wrecked Bazaar of Baghdad. Quite a fun one. I actually think Massacre looks kind of good here as just a 5/5 first striker. Tangle Wire, probably not good. Transphere, clearly good. Cage is probably only medium, really. It's only stopping Vine. Kind of off it. We're going to get rid of the Portable Hole and the Cage. Keeping in Bog and Strip Mine and Tabernacle. Probably just get rid of Vault Key, to be honest. Doesn't seem like something that's necessary in this matchup, and it just exposes you to Force of Vigor. Everything else in this deck looks quite good against Vine, though. Maybe we trim 1 Opal. Just want to kind of hedge for Force of Vigor. All right, here we have a Leyline hand. Karn is not that great, but I mean, God, 1 ring, Paradox Engine, this hand's sweet. Finally a keeper. Opponent has mulliganed once, mulliganed twice. They have to mulligan to a Bazaar of Baghdad, so they don't have the luxury of choosing which hands they get to keep. They just get to keep when they finally find a Bazaar. The lower they go, the better for us, obviously. Makes this Leyline more powerful. This Leyline should do a lot of work here, and then we can probably just jam into a ring to start. This Karn I probably wanted to board out, actually. It's probably better than boarding out an Opal, because I'm not really hitting anything off this Karn that's really interesting, because I boarded out all the bad cards, but I guess there's like an Opal and some stuff in the sideboard. Maybe it'll be fine. That's Mox Pearl Plains, so that is not Countervine, and is in fact turn 1 Null Rod, probably Mono White Initiative. Interesting. All right, well, I have been bamboozled. I guess it makes sense to concede to a Trinisphere if you don't have any lands or something in your hand, and it definitely made me feel like I I knew what was going on, but okay. Mono White Initiative, having turn 1 Null Rod on the play, is going to be pretty good against our deck in all cases, but in this case, we don't have a workshop or anything for lands, which is going to be quite challenging. See if they follow up with like Land Thalia here, and then things get really tough for us. Wasteland we have covered. City in a Bottle looks quite bad. I feel, yeah, I mean, opponent gained a lot of value from conceding to the Trinisphere. Though, even if I wasn't drawing ley lines in City of the Bottles, then I think we were still going to lose to this Null Rod hand anyways, just because we kept Lotus Crypt. So, is this worth playing out? It is still worth playing out. I think drawing a workshop, I guess drawing a workshop isn't good enough. Maybe it's not worth playing out. If I don't draw a land in this turn, I'll probably just concede. Especially because our first land gets wastelanded anyways. Opponent, it doesn't really matter. This is just a 3/3 vigilance. Turning off any of these cards probably is irrelevant. Interesting that opponent brought in Null Rod blind. They didn't know what kind of workshop deck we are. Null Rod is actually not very good against a lot of workshop decks these days. Obviously, you're still hitting their fast mana, but a lot of time the workshop Ancient Tomb deck doesn't really care about you hitting their fast mana. Definitely on the draw, we're going to bring back in this Chalice, and we're going to get rid of this Leyline, and we're going to get rid of City in a Bottle, obviously. And then we're going to bring back Tangle Wire for sure, Vault Key, Opal, all those cards. Portable Hole only hits Alia and Null Rod, but it's worth having. Glass Casket should be better too. Definitely interested in getting rid of this Thorn. Probably just want to keep Karn for the play. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? I think we'll keep in Tabernacle. Not that Tabernacle is really good against any deck that's not Workshop, but I think it's nice to have the option. Try to constrain them, especially if they Null Rod themselves. Maybe the Karn still just goes. I think I want to have the Needle as access to Anti-Wasteland for my sagas. I think I have come to the conclusion that you just always want to play your Needle to Anti-Wasteland against Mono White because your sagas are so good against them. This hand is missing another additional mana piece to play more powerful things on turn 1, so we'll just mulligan it. This hand has Crucible. Kind of an interesting hand. Probably have to just put back Time Vault and play Workshop Crucible so we don't get wastelanded. Does mean we're not going to get to play Sphere on turn 1. I guess if my opponent reveals a Chancellor, we don't... I guess we throw the Opal into it. I don't think this hand is amazing, but I'm not really sure it's worth mulliganing. Having a Workshop Crucible means we are immune to Wasteland. And then any Moxen lets us play Golos on turn 2, which will be strong. There's definitely upside just slamming Sphere on turn 1 as well. That will let us, stop them from doing a powerful start. But if we jam Sphere on turn 1 and our workshop gets wastelanded, it's super bad for us. It's just probably game over immediately. So I'm thinking workshop Crucible pass, or play Opal if we still have Opal, and then Sphere Resistance turns on Opal, play Plains, then we're going to go for Golos. Yeah, like this hand does the thing. I don't know if it's good enough. That's my worry. It might just not be strong enough against Mono White. I think it's a keeper though. They mulligan to 6. We put back Time Vault. Done. What do you got for us? So yeah, the only thing that is going to change this is if our opponent reveals a Chancellor, then we have to throw the Opal into the Chancellor because our workshop can't pay for Chancellor. Which is not the end of the world, but we definitely want to keep this Opal around to help us get towards this Golos. All right, there was no Chancellor, so we're just going to go Workshop Crucible, Opal, go. Get this Opal down before they play Athalia or something. Definitely wish we had our 1 strip mine with this hand, but we could get our 1 strip mine with Golos, and then we have a loop. Not sure how good that will be depending on what their start is. We'll see. Depends on how much Moxen they have. It's basically the Mono White Dream, right? Oh, just turn 1 Null Rod? Okay, sure. That's okay. Fiddlebender we can't cast. I will think we will cast this sphere, though. Alright. Turn 1 Null Rod. We need to hit 2 mana sources, 2 lands, 2 mana worth of lands to play Golos. Saga lets us do nothing. Oh, they had a Wasteland. They have another Null Rod. But we have the Crucible, so we can't lose our Workshop to Wasteland. Rubies, nothing. I guess I should have just used the Workshop mana. It's fine. It's just a question of, do we get to cast this Golos this game? Opponent can now play, if they have a white source, they can play a 3-drop through Sphere, which is pretty dooming for us. Yeah, they have a basic plains. Yeah, I think we're going to lose this game. I think our hand was just not good enough. I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate. Maybe we should have mulliganed to 5. Tough sell, really. Null Rod is so good. Even though, like, our mana is in lands here, we still just have these extra mana here that would let us play Golos. So now this Golos is going to go up to 7. For sure. And it's going to be pretty hard to cast unless we draw exactly Workshop. Oh, they chose to name Fiddlebender. I don't like that at all. This Fiddlebender is so far away from being castable. I need to have 2, like an Ancient Tomb. Workshop is our best draw. Ancient Tomb's our next best draw. Manifold Key is terrible. Can't even Portable Hole get out of it because there are double Null Rods. Don't have 2 Portable Holes. Yeah, Archon is going to slow down my advance here. They could even Wasteland me for tempo. Looks like they will. Kind of crazy. They just have excess resources on us. I don't know if we have any recourse here. Cavern. God, if they play a Seasoned Engineer. Cleric. It's just another... Oh, yeah. White Plume is so bad for us, too. It's just over, I think. Man. I would feel like mono white wouldn't be that bad, but... The fact that we have a Crucible out and we're still getting Wastelanded to death is pretty crazy. Excuse me. Oh yeah, we're just super dead here. All right, I mean, we got bested for sure. Maybe I need to mold a 5 and try to find a more powerful hand. All right, here we go. 5th and final round with our Oswald Golos Prison Shops deck. It's been a little bit tough, but see what we can do with this hand. Have a Sphere on turn 1 with some amount of follow-up. Not the greatest hand, but I find it is quite hard for me to pass up Workshop Sphere, especially when we do have land drops to hit, even if they're not the best land drops. So let's see what we can do with this hand. Workshop. Sphere, go. What does opponent have for us here? Wasteland, sure. Put us under our own sphere. Definitely a viable thing. Just triple Saga. All right. The Saga will definitely not be making constructs, but maybe some of the ones in the future will. It's good news that our opponent already Wastelanded us, so it's unlikely to get Wastelanded again. Maybe a mirror match again. Or it could be mono white. We got an Opal, so we should play Saga, play Opal, pass. See what they have for us after Ancient Tomb. Cavern, okay. So another mono white matchup. See what it looks like from turn 1 Sphere. They didn't have any Moxen, but if they go human here, they could play a Thalia. Or wait for more mana to play humans on 3. Let's see, it looks like a Thalia is happening. Yep. Massacre should be quite good unless they Solitude it. Karn doesn't look very good in this current situation. Probably just getting a Soul Ring here. It's my best mana source, really. That's just gonna stick around. This currently gives me. If I wanted to activate Saga, I have 3 other mana. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll play Fiddlebender and we'll hold up Saga activation instead of going like all in and playing 6 mana Massacre and getting threatened to like we could get Lorien, we could get Lorien, sorry. Could get Lorien or we could get Solituded. Feels like a lot. Whereas this Fiddlebender really threatens some powerful things right away, and we still get to make our Saga token. Definitely was on my to-do list after we played, turn 1, turn 2 Saga, turn 2, 3 Saga, turn 4 Saga, was to get these Sagas going. It's very hard for Mono White to keep up with Sagas if you don't have Wastelands, and they already used Wasteland on my workshop, which I'm not saying was a bad play, but it's definitely something to keep in mind that, especially if you don't have any Lorens, can be challenging. So Seasoned Dungeoneer, so we're going for racing mode. All right, I'm just going to crack this in F6. They can go get a Plains, but they can't attack. And then we need to consider where we're at in life. This Argenta Masticore could pitch a Karn and kill the Seasoned Dungeoneer. We'll have to see what makes the most sense. I think, at the very least, making constructs seems like a very easy path forward here. The question becomes... I can't even make it to Masticore mana anyways, so I probably just get like a Mana Crypt here so I can Fiddlebender and... Let's just think about what we're going to Fiddlebender for, because I can get another construct here, and I can Fiddlebender either a 1 into a 2 into a 3, or a 0 into a 1. If I change my sphere, which is not really doing anything anyways, I could even go Black Lotus, and no, that'll leave me 1 short. I can change my sphere into a Tangle Wire. I could just change my sphere into a Crucible, though. That is just nuts. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do Mana Crypt. I guess I don't have to do Mana Crypt because I can play Saga for turn, right? So I can instead just do Pearl and then change. Yeah. I can do Pearl and then I can change. I probably don't want to change. So if I change now, I can make 1 more construct. But if I do that, I open myself up to Solitude. So I think what I'll do is I'll attack first. Oh, I actually get a basic off this, so I don't even have to make this play. Interesting. Just a chump block so I don't get a basic. I guess that makes sense. Oh, I don't even think I forgot. I think I forgot about the Thalia attacks too. So here what I'll do is I'm going to turn the sphere into a Crucible. I think it's a better than Tangle Wire. Wait, actually, they chump with Thalia, so now Tangle Wire is much better. I just tap down their whole board this turn. Yeah, let's just go. So Tangle Wire means I don't make another Saga token, though, because I didn't get Mana Crypt. So if I wanted to go Tangle Wire, I should have gone Mana Crypt. But it still makes sense to go Tangle Wire, I think. Active player, non-active player. Hold on, I gotta think about this Tabernacle for a second. I guess they could just float the mana, so that doesn't actually help me. No, I'm still gonna go Crucible. If I had gone Mana Crypt, I would have gone Tangle Wire there, but because I didn't go Mana Crypt, it's definitely better for me to just make another creature token and kill my opponent on the next turn, right? That has to be the case. I just didn't think about Thalia blocking going down to four targets. Definitely wish I had gone Mana Crypt. That would have opened me up to a lot of options. Or maybe one more option. Excuse me. All right, so now nothing is taxed at all in this game. But these constructs are definitely threatening lethal, and we can also turn this into a 4-drop. Interested that there's no Mystic Forge in this deck. I guess we could turn into a Ring or a Lodestone. Ring would not give us the protection clause. The opponent can try to race here, maybe. Archon. Okay. Archon's a weird one to play first if you had another spell this turn. I assume we're attacking, right? Because waiting or racing, well, I guess you're dead if you do attack, so it doesn't really help you. Just make a million constructs. Don't think our opponent's coming back from this. Lots of Fiddlebenders. Just something that makes mana. I guess I don't even need to be something that makes mana. Guess we can just go Black Lotus. Replay Saga. Oh, I should have done that after attacks. Oh well, it's fine. Actually, if they don't have a Solitude, it's just a straight up lethal attack. If I make a construct and attack with Fiddlebender, probably just going to go for it. Doesn't really matter too much if my Fiddlebender dies, whereas I'd like to pressure this game as much as possible. All right, so they must have a Solitude, or this attack doesn't make sense. Actually, this block doesn't make sense unless they have a Solitude. And then we'll probably just crack this Lotus and play a new Fiddlebender. Yeah. But they decided to keep the Archon, which is kind of interesting. But I'm at 30 life against the aggro deck. Don't think matters. I've just like looped Saga every turn this game for the whole game. Very hard to deal with. All right, next game. Got the game 1 win against Mono White. Very important considering how the last matchup versus Mono White went. Though to be fair, we boarded in late line and City of the Bottle against Mono White, so it wasn't the smartest move from the pilot. I definitely got baited. Wait, did I not bring in Dismembers against Mono White last round? How did that happen? All right, well, I'm pretty sure last round I just didn't board in Dismember. How? What the? Justin. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Everything's fine. There's plenty of things for me to board out to get to the point where I don't actually think Trinisphere is good on the draw, or Thorn, or Karn on the draw. Like, so many bad cards on the draw. I totally didn't, right? Like, I totally definitely just did not. Not that Dismember would have helped me. Like, I just got kind of null-rotted out of the games. I just forgot to bring in Dismember. Okay, all right. I guess that's where the streaming advantage comes into play, right? If I was streaming, someone would be like, hey, Justin, why don't you board in Dismember against the Mono White Initiative deck? And then I'd be like, because I'm dumb. It's okay. They went Crack as Go. Not ideal. definitely think you need to look for a hand that's better than that from my perspective here for the opponent. But they did say, yeah, you need to find something better as your mono white hand than Krakus Go typically, especially against a deck like this where I'm going to power out crazy amounts of mana really quickly. I guess one thing worth noting is I can't make white mana with my lands right now. So if they null rod me again, things are weird. This is a Thalia. Sure. That's just not going to slow me down in the slightest. Don't even think I'm going to portable hole it, really. Needle. Needle on Wasteland. I feel really dumb about my last round. I don't think it mattered, but I still feel stupid about it. I do need to play Ancient Tomb to cast this Fiddlebender, but it's fine. Because I have a Lodestone taxing myself. All right, Ancient Tomb, Cavern now, so they can play 3 drops through Lodestone. Human, maybe Lauren, kill my Lodestone is probably the best play. Lodestone can turn into a 5-drop here with Fiddlebender if we wanted to, and that's got to be challenging for them to beat between Golos, Masticore, Mightstone, Paradox Engine. Just playing the initiative, interesting. Though I guess my Lodestone does not battle through their 5-3, and my Portable Hole does not hit their 5-3. They should attack with this 2-1 so that they can untap it with White Plume, see if they see it. They do see it. Very nice. All right, so now comes the point of how do I progress in this game? Is it just Golos get a Golos get a Saga? I could turn this Needle into a 2-drop, but the only 2 drops are Spheres and Time Vault. I could turn this Needle into a Time Vault and then on the next turn go for Volt Key. The only problem with that is like a Lauren or Null Rod. I could Portable Hole the Thalia and turn the Portable Hole into a Time Vault. Make them have it. I just really want to get a 5-drop though. I feel like getting a Golos is so strong. Yeah, I'm just going to turn this Lodestone into a Golos. I guess like they can Caracas my Golos theoretically, but that's not even bad for me with how much mana I have. And I have a Needle on Wasteland right now. Does let them start progressing into the Undercity though. They can bounce the Golos, make an attack, but then I get to replay Golos, get another Saga, and then turn the Golos into a 6-drop. 6-drop being Wormcoil Engine in this scenario. I'm actually not sure that my line is better than just turning a Portable Hole or a Needle into a Time Vault. I guess I can always get a key off of a Saga. So I'm actually like kind of tutoring for a key on this turn with my Saga, which is kind of interesting. Actually, that's interesting. I like that part of it, where this is actually both a Golos and a Construct token and maybe a future key. And we always have this option of turning a Needle or a Portable Hole into a Time Vault. Okay, so we just have White Plume attack. I go to 11. They're going down the Forge route, but they shouldn't be able to hit too many more times because I have an active Saga, unless they deploy an Seasoned Dungeoneer. Seasoned Dungeoneer is probably the worst possible outcome that could happen for me. This game gets very hard if they have a Seasoned Dungeoneer. Yeah, it's a Seasoned Dungeoneer, isn't it? So, can I survive at all? This puts me to 6. Is it not a Seasoned Dungeoneer? Interesting. I don't know what's happening exactly. It's a 4 mana. Oh, it's a Seasoned Engineer. Just okay. So I go to 6 from Trap, and then this is unblockable. Oh wait, this Orc is going to be unblockable, and then I'll die if they don't have a land on top. Man, what a nightmare. I guess I just had to go immediately for the Vault Key plan. Wow. I could draw Dismember. Dismember would do it, because Dismember would be able to kill the Seasoned Engineer. I just draw another Fiddlebender. So I think we're on the Hope and Pray line. Because I can get a Worm Coil, it just doesn't do anything. Then I die on the swing back too. Alright, I'll just portable hole this Thalia and then pass, make a construct, hope this White Plume Adventure doesn't kill me, and then get Vault Key on my next turn if I live. Oh, I guess they just have Caracas on my Oswald that I haven't seen happen at all in this game. Which, yeah, that's super bad for me. I just forgot for the fact that this Oswald can get bounced at any time. They just haven't done it yet. Yeah. So if this Throne of the Dead hits a Seasoned Engineer, we die immediately. Did not. Wow, actually, I don't even get to make a Saga token here if they like name Urza Saga. Yeah, I played this game very poorly, I would say. Though I guess if I had like gone for the Fiddlebender line, they would have just bounced my Fiddlebender with Caracas and it would have been bad for me anyways. So maybe there wasn't a winning line here. All right, they named Urza Saga. And then they have just like bounce Fiddlebender, attack both. And they can't even screw it up at that point, right? Yeah, I played this game not very well. Man, mono white can be so challenging for non-blue decks, huh? Wait, whoa, they just skipped through their attack phase. Well, that's unfortunate for my opponent. Yeah, that's unfortunate. They just were 100% one and they just went through their attack phase. I don't know why. But I'm definitely going to win this game now. Feels bad, man. I mean, they didn't like Oswald bounce my Oswald. I would have to block and they would have to also miss. Just kind of, I don't know. Just feels bad. But I can only play the game from one side of the table, you know? Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so in the end, a 3-2. The deck clearly works. Um, Obviously, Paradox Engine and the One Ring is a nice combo. I know we did a league earlier in the year where we did Transmute Artifact, and this is kind of a similar idea with Fiddlebender. I don't really feel like the mana here supports Fiddlebender. I know it kind of works, the mana, but especially if you get Null Rodded, your mana just doesn't make any sense. And then Null Rod basically shuts this whole deck off, so maybe you do need more Portable Holes. But the problem with Portable Hole is you can't cast it off of Opal, which is your main, like your main half, more of your mana sources that make white are your Moxen. So like you don't actually have good ways of dealing with a Null Rod that gets resolved. Your like ways of playing through that are just, Workshop plus lands plus like Golos and normal things. You actually have Argentum Masticore. Maybe you need more Argentum Masticores, but that in that case you kind of need more Ancient Tombs as well, right? This deck probably needs to have two more Ancient Tombs, but I don't know how you fit that. Um, this is the classic colorful workshop problem where you don't really have like you want 4 workshop 4 ancient tomb, but then you also need to try to fit in the colorful lands that cast your like ancestral or your tinker or your Oswald or your portable hole, and the push and pull between all of those cards, especially when you have like Golos getting you different kinds of utility lands, is just so high. This deck definitely wants 2 ancient tombs in it, and I don't know how you can realistically fit it. So things to think about if you're interested in this kind of archetype. But the One Ring is obviously quite powerful, and this Golo shell totally works. So that's a nice, fun thing to learn from this video. So more vintage content Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on this YouTube channel. I will see you then.